So now we are here. I'm talking from Vietnam, Đà Lạt. It's 6 a.m. Beautiful sunshine. And the topic of today is about who am I? So it's a most important topic, most essential, most capital topic. Yeah, it's about yourself. It's about your life. If you don't have the sense of self, then it's you cannot make decision. You don't know who you are. You get lost, and you suffer more. So very important for you to take the time to be with yourself. That is called meditation and self-inquiry. In order for you to know the self, you need to calm the mind. Because the mind, when the mind is agitated, is restless, is always looking for something, like a drunk monkey, running like a wild horse, or hiding itself, or constantly agitated, then you can not know yourself. So it's very important to try to calm the mind down through working with your breath. So if you work with your breath, pranayama, slowly, you bring the breath to a rhythmical breath, and then to the silence. Then at that time the mind will be also silent. So the breath is very important for you to calm down. Then when the breath calms down, the prana become focused, become concentrated. The prana is the energy, the subtle energy. So when the subtle energy become focused, then the mind also becomes very calm. You imagine the mind very calm, like a lake without waves. And then you look inside, it's like a true mirror. Then you can see yourself. So yourself in Vedanta philosophy is called the Atman. The Atman is of the nature of bliss, of happiness, of knowledge. And the Atman is all the time there. Even when you are sleeping, the Atman is there. And the Atman is your consciousness. The Atman is the core of yourself. The Atman is the I thought. When you think of I, in fact, the I, the root cause of all your thinking is the I. And I is the self. Okay? So you are all the time thinking about yourself. You are all the time actually busying yourself to find out who you are. But the problem is you all the time believing your mind. Okay? The I thought, the root cause, the root thought of the I is always mixed up with everything else. Mixed up with your emotions, mixed up with your worry, mixed up with your memories, mixed up with your anxiety. So that's why you are confused. And when the mind is mixed up, then it's always projecting. It has the idea, or it's project. Project means it's not staying still, and it's imagine some other thing. So when it's imagine, then you have tendency to run after it. Okay? So the story, important story to understand is the story of the snake and rope. Okay? In the dark, you cannot see the nature of something in front of you, and it look like, a snake. And then you think it is a snake. And you project the idea that it is a snake. And then you run. And then you react. So the same thing. When the mind is in darkness, then you project the idea that I am this and that. The happiness is when I have a lot of money. Happiness is when I have a promotion. Happiness is when I have a nice husband. So you project a different idea. And when you project different idea, then your mind will run after the idea and will try to resolve the situation. So you work very hard to get the promotion. Yeah, you work very hard to get a nice husband. Yeah, like this. So then your life is very active and very busy because you're all the time running after whatever that you think to be yourself. But then you get what you want and you're still not happy because it's not the object. It's not something external. Yourself is not something external. So the opposite, that means that you need to be quiet. You need to be calm. You need to have certainty that the self and the happiness is already there within you. So then you sit down, yeah, and quietly you calm your mind down. Yeah, you try to breathe very calmly. And then when you breathe very calmly, or after you do pranayama, then your mind become very clear. And then you can, at that time, you can feel more clearly, understand more clearly that the happiness is not external. Then you calm down, and then you feel. You feel the self that is already there. The I, very important thought. The I is not the ego. The I is the Atman. Yourself is the Atman. You are running after, looking after happiness. You're running, looking after yourself. But the existence of the I itself, existence of the idea of I, is the self. But not the ego. The ego is always, I am small, I am big, I am male, I am female, I am rich, I am poor, I am Vietnamese, I am Chinese, I am beautiful, I am 30 years old, I am better than you, I am worse than you, I am your wife, I am your mother, I am your husband. So all this, the idea of I am something, always, when you think of I, is always I am something. Okay? Because of your attachment, because of your habit of thinking, I am something. Yeah? I am my relationships. I am what I am doing. I am what people tell me about me. So you're always looking for yourself in the eyes of other people. Yeah, you cannot realize yourself like that because you look at yourself in the eyes of other people. All the time you try to please other people. Yeah, and you try to find yourself in the eyes of the people. It's like you look at yourself in a mirror, in a mirage. Yeah, because people are changing all the time. People's opinion about you is never yourself because people see you from their own eyes. Yeah, so you have to see yourself, and you cannot even see yourself because your eyes are all the time covered by different veil, different habit of thinking. So when you think about yourself, it's again, you repeat the same thing. You repeat the idea, what people think about you. You repeat the idea, what happiness will be. You repeat the idea that you don't know. You repeat the idea that the ego is yourself. So you get all the time, restless, unhappy, but the self is right there. The self is closer to you than your own breath. The self is in your own heart. The real I is in your own heart. So you have to use different methods in order to find the I, in order to find the self, in order to stop restlessness. Stop looking. You need to be still. So that's why yoga teach asanas. Keep the body still. Then easier for the mind to be still. Keep your breath very calm. Then it's easier for the mind to be still. And when your mind is still, through concentration, you can use a mantra or om, your breath, to concentrate the mind. So the mind doesn't run in many different thoughts. Then at that time, it becomes very concentrated, one-pointed. It becomes very calm. So the main thing you need to understand, you need to keep the mind very calm. And when the mind is calm, you see yourself. It's right there. It feels different. When the mind is calm, you feel yourself differently. You don't worry about other people. You don't worry about, your own thinking. You don't worry. When the mind is one-pointed and calm, there is no worry. There is no projection. There is no past. There is no future. There is a feeling of calmness and of peace. And that is yourself. That calmness, that peace, that joy from within you. It's very difficult to access this joy, access this peace, access the self, because the mind, that's all. The mind is projecting. The mind is running. You're all the time living external to yourself. You're all the time living outside of your skin. You're looking for yourself, but yourself is right there. It's like it says that somebody wearing a chain and go and look for it everywhere. Where's my chain? Where's my chain? Where's my jewel? The necklace. It's right there. Or you wear your glass and you're looking, where's my glass? Where's my glass? You are there. So where is your happiness? Who am I? Where is your happiness? Your happiness is right there within your heart. Not because somebody loves you or somebody doesn't like you. It's not that. You love yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to turn your mind within. You have to stop all these fantasies about yourself and about the idea that some external thing will define yourself. You have to feel it from within yourself. Because you have to bring back the importance to yourself. You have to bring back the power to yourself. Just by calming the mind, calming the breath, and sit still, asking yourself the question, who am I? So there is 5 ways how you can ask question. Okay? 5 ways how you can ask question so you can find the self. Number 1, you ask the question, am I the body? Am I this body? Sorry. Am I this body? The body is changing all the time. Am I this body? Yesterday, you go to sleep. Your body is certain weight. After you sleep, you wake up and you go and you weigh yourself. Your body lose a few kilo because during the night you lose the digestion happen, and then you lose a few kilo. So who are you? If you define yourself to be the body is changing. Last night you go to sleep, your hair is okay, and wake up in the morning, you have more white hair. So, and you have some wrinkle. So the body changes. Something that is changing constantly is not yourself. Yeah. So you think about this. Sometimes, you don't remember how old are you. You feel young and happy and you do things you don't remember. And all of a sudden you remember. Yeah? Oh, I am 60 years old. Oh, I'm old. Oh, I'm 70 years old. Yeah. So the body, you remember the body to be the self. Okay. The moment you remember the body to be the self, yeah, you are not the self. You are losing yourself. The moment that you think, oh, I'm a man, I'm a woman, you're losing yourself. But normally you function. Man, woman is not important. Young, old is not important. Beautiful, not beautiful is not important. And you're looking at the sunrise and you're so happy. When you look at the sunrise, you don't know how old are you. Yeah. You don't know if you are, Asian or you are American. You don't know if you are married or not married, but the sunrise is beautiful. See? Because the idea of the I at that time, the feeling is detached from the body, detached from the idea of who you are. But the moment that you remember again, oh, I am old, oh, I am male, oh, I am a female, then at that time again, you get caught and then your mind starts going. Yeah, I am a female, so I have to look beautiful. I am a male, so I have to become this, be that. You see, so then at that time the mind is active again. Then you lose yourself again. See? So you need to do self-inquiry. Inquiry means thinking, who am I? You need to ask the question, who am I? I am this body. Yeah. Then you reject. In your mind, you have to understand quickly. No, I'm not my age. No, I'm not my race. No, I'm not my nose. Oh, I'm not my eyes. I'm not my hair. I'm not beautiful. Oh, I'm not ugly. You see, the appearance of this body is like a car. I'm not my car. I drive the car, but the car is not me. I drive the Toyota, but I am not Japanese. I drive the red car, but I'm not red. Yeah, I drive the car that is 5 years old, and it's worth $15,000. But I'm not 5 years old, and I'm not worth $15,000. So the vehicle that I use is not myself. I am not the car. I am the driver of the car. I am not this body. And this body is my instrument, is my vehicle for my consciousness. So I can learn my lesson about who am I. But the body is not me. So you reject this idea of who am I and of I am the body. So that's the first level of self-inquiry. Okay. So the second level of self-inquiry is called your prana, your vital energy. So the vital energy makes that you feel hungry, makes that you feel thirsty, makes that you feel cold, makes that you feel hot. Okay, so you very much identify with the feeling of heat and cold, of hungry and thirst, but with the prana. If you have a lot of prana, then you feel good. If you have low prana, then you feel down. And the prana is constantly changing. Yeah. If you work very hard, then you lose a lot of prana, then you feel very tired. Yeah. Then at that time, you feel like low. Yeah. You feel, but you should not lose yourself because you are not the prana. Even the prana is low because you use all the prana, and you are exhausted. But the prana is not you. So therefore, you should feel okay. Oh, then you should know, okay, I'm tired because, I just used a lot of prana. Yeah, but that's not me. So you are fine, and you rest a little bit, and the prana will restore, and then you are fine. But some people, they get lost. They think that they are the prana. They think that when they have a lot of prana and they feel good, they think this is themselves. And when the prana is down and they feel very distraught, I'm tired. Oh, that's terrible. I'm so exhausted. I'm nobody. I'm so tired. Yeah. Okay, the body is tired. The mind is tired. The prana is exhausted. Yeah. But you need to recharge yourself like a cell phone. You need to plug it in. Yeah. Cell phone become, 10%, 5%, 3%. Then it become very dim. Yeah. 1%. And then you recharge it. Yeah. And then it come up 5%, 10%, 20%, 50%, 90%. Yeah. It becomes strong. But it is just the electricity. It is just the prana, okay, that give the energy to your body, to your mind, and give you the energy to function. But you are not the prana. You are not the prana. Even when the prana is down, yeah, you're still there. Okay? It is said, according to yoga philosophy, even when the prana depart from the physical body, when you die, when the prana is unplugged, is depart from the physical body, you still exist. Yeah, you are not gone. The consciousness is still there. You still exist. Even if the prana is gone from the physical body, you still exist. There is a very famous sage. His name is Ramana Maharishi. So Ramana Maharishi, at 16 years old, then he has the feeling that he's very afraid of death. So then he simulate death. He lie down. He imagine that he's dying. Yeah, the prana is leaving his leg, he's leaving his heart, leaving his brain. Yeah, and then when he realized after the prana is gone, he's still alive. Yeah, he's still actually very joyful, very alive. The consciousness is alive. So then he realized, oh, I am not the prana. I am not this body. Yeah. So his famous teaching is all the time asking, who am I? Yeah. So keep yourself, the presence of yourself all the time. Either you are hungry, either you are thirsty, yeah, in heat and cold. Don't lose yourself. You are not this prana. Okay? Somebody, when they are hungry, they become like a monster. They have bad character. They change. Yeah, it's because they identify very much with the prana. Okay, so even your prana is down, even in the time of death, you are still there. The who am I is still there. The I is still there. The consciousness is still there because you never die. Yeah, it's called sat. You never die. Yeah, the consciousness never die. The aliveness never die. Yeah, the I never die. Yeah, the self is always there. Always there. They say the Atman is always there. Okay? So then the second level of self-inquiry, then you say, I am not my prana. I am immortal self. I am not this prana. Now, prana is a vital energy. Yeah, I am not my energy. I am consciousness. Okay? So the third level is more complicated. The third level of self-inquiry is the mind and the emotions and the senses and the intellect. So all these are also your instrument. It is not yourself. So the mind is not yourself. The intellect is not yourself. So some people believe that they are the intellect. So then they are very proud. The ego is very big. And some people think that they are their emotions, their feeling, their sensation, their senses. But all these things are changing. The mind is changing all the time. So it is not yourself, because yourself is always there. So therefore, it's not changing. The mind changing, but the mind is the instrument of the self. What that means, it makes you experience a certain thing, pleasure and pain, in order for you to realize that you are the self. And the pleasure and the pain that you think that is yourself is not. It's external to you. You are. And so the mind and the emotion and the senses and the intellect is not yourself. It comes and goes. It changes a lot. The emotion changes a lot, up and down. When the emotion is up, you think, oh, I'm great. The emotion is down, you think, oh, terrible. Life is terrible. I am bad. You see? And then you identify all the time with your emotions. You say, I am angry. I am sad. I am this, I am that. Yeah. But the I is all the time there. Yeah. Without the I, there is no anger. Without the I, there is no fear. Without the I, there is no object. There is nothing external to the I. So you go to the source of things, which is your I, yourself. Yeah. Then nothing exists. The self is bliss. The self is consciousness. The self is pure love. Okay. So the love that you feel is always love addressed toward something. I love my pet. I love my husband. I love my mother. I love my hair. I love my house. I love my city. I love my country. I love whatever you love. Yeah, is always external to yourself. It's always make you split. Okay, so whatever you love make you lose yourself. Yeah, because you split between two. You here and the object of love here. So you always try to bring yourself and the object of love together. Yeah, and that's what you try to do. Bring the object of love and yourself together. Yeah, and when they are together for a moment, imagine if you love something, and then let's say you love the sunrise. Oh, I love the sunrise. Yeah, so then you look and you contemplate the sunrise, and the sunrise and you at that moment become one. Yeah, sunrise and you become one, and you are so happy because sunrise and you become one. Or your beloved and you become one. There is some moment you feel that the beloved and you become one. And also then when you feel the beloved and you become one, you disappear and the beloved disappear. There is nobody there. There is no beloved, yeah, and there is not you. Both disappear in that love. Okay, so love is not split. Love is not duality. Love is oneness, and love is yourself. So you need to find the pure love that is yourself. Okay, so all the time go beyond the duality. Yeah, beyond the search for something external to yourself for you to love, because really what you are learning and what you are searching is you are searching yourself. You are searching the love within yourself. And the love within yourself is total, is complete, is absolute. It includes everything. It's pure. It's not just only the husband. It's not just only the beloved. It's not just only a beautiful thing. Yeah. Love is one. Yeah. So that means that you are all the time in love. You are all the time in love of the self, but you don't recognize it. You are all the time one. You're all the time one. You're all the time whatever that you are seeking for. You're all the time whatever that you are loving. You're all the time that already. Yeah, there's nothing missing in your life. There's nothing missing in you. You're already perfect. You are already Ananda. Yeah, Ananda means bliss absolute. Yeah, the self is bliss absolute. The self or the Atman is say Satchitananda. Sat is existence absolute. It never die. Yeah, even if you die, the self all the time there. Chit is consciousness. Yeah, knowing. Yeah, you all the time there aware. Yeah, knowing means aware. You all the time knowing. The knowingness is yourself. So you are not in the darkness, never. Yeah, the darkness is just the mind, imagination. You're all the time knowing. You're all the time alive. Yeah, because when you know, then you are alive. When you don't know, then you feel you are in the dark. But you all the time knowledge, okay? And you all the time oneness. You all the time bliss absolute. Yeah. So you need to remember yourself that you are not the emotion. You are not your memory. You are not your thinking. Yeah. You are not your reasoning. You are not your intelligence. You are not your ego. The idea that I am this and that. Your personality. You are not that. Okay, so you do inquiry, who am I? And then if you would say, oh, I am this feeling of sadness, then you need to reject it. Yeah, there is a sadness in my mind because I just saw somebody die. Yeah, fine. There is a sadness there. But you are not losing yourself in the sadness. Yeah, the mind is feeling grief. Yeah, but the self all the time there. And you know, at the bottom line, yeah, there is nobody out there that is separated from you. Yeah, because you know at the essence, you are everybody. Yeah, you are everybody. Because love is one. There is nobody separated from you. So you never really lose yourself or lose anybody. So you are not the sadness. Yeah, you are the pure joy within yourself. Yeah, but you need to remember that. So you don't become the emotion. You don't get lost yourself in the emotion. Yeah, so you say, I am not my emotion. I'm not my attachment. Yeah, I believe that this give me the happiness. Yeah, but I am happy. I don't need something to give me the happiness because I am happiness itself. So sometimes you can feel for somebody feeling sad, you also feeling sad. Yeah. So because you have the emotions and the attachment. Yeah. But really, you know, you are not the attachment. You are yourself. That thing can go, but you are still there. Yeah. The happiness. I need to drink. Thank you. Sorry, I'm talking too much. I need to drink. Okay. So we said, I am not the body. When you do self-inquiry, who am I? I'm not the body. You think deep, I'm not the body. The body is changing all the time. It's not me. I'm not the emotions. Emotion changing all the time. It's not me. I'm not my intellect. Also, it's not me. I'm not this personality. My personality changed. Also, it's not me. Yeah. I am not my prana. We said earlier, I'm not my energy. Energy is not me. I use it. Energy is very important. I use it, but it's not me. Emotion is very important. I use my emotion to feel happiness, joy, or sadness, in order for me to recognize that I am the source of joy. I am the source of happiness. And this feeling of happiness and joy that is attached to objects, is for me to experience in order for me to see that it's limited and it's changing. So therefore, it's not me. So I am not my emotions. I am not my intellect. So the mind. I am not the mind. Okay, so that's the third level. And the fourth, the third level is the mind and the emotions. The fourth level is the intellect. I am not what I believe. I'm not my intelligence. Okay, even the intelligence is needed for you to discriminate, to know the difference between the truth and not truth, the self and the not self. And you need to use the intellect in order for you to separate yourself, from the false idea of self and the self. So, but still, it's only your instrument. Okay, the intellect is the instrument. Okay, and then, so that's number 4 level. Time. And then the last is, I am not my we call kosha body, or the Anandamaya kosha. I am not my feeling of bliss. Okay, because it is said that even the feeling of bliss, when you are deep sleep, when you are in deep sleep, you have that feeling. The world disappears in a deep sleep, and you are still you are in deep sleep, you are very happy. And you come out of the deep sleep and you say, I am very happy, because I have a deep sleep. I feel so good. I had a deep sleep last night. Okay, but the deep sleep is still not you. That peace and bliss, when you forget everything in the deep sleep, is not you. So you are beyond that, actually. You are even beyond that. You are that absolute bliss. So that is not conditioned. It's all the time there. So that is more difficult for you to understand, because everyone is looking for bliss. But you have to use your sharp intellect in order to question, who am I? That bliss that is coming and going is not the truth of who am I. So you are beyond that. You are that pure consciousness. You are that pure sense of self that is all the time there, that is not depending on anything to be happy. Okay, that is happy in all conditions. Not when you are in deep sleep, not when you get the object of desire, because when you get the object of desire, you are happy. Your mind is quiet for a moment, and you are all the time seeking for this moment. When you get the object of desire, and your mind stops, and you feel so blissful. And then you look for another moment, when the mind stops, when you get the object of desire. So the happiness depends all the time, from your action, from what you do. If you do good action, and you feel so good. But it's come and goes. It's still not absolute. Okay? So eventually you have to recognize that even the bliss is there, the bliss is not there. You are bliss, absolute. Okay? So that's why you are the core and the source of all feeling of bliss. Okay? So we call sum total of all this we call Satchidananda. So you are the Atman of the nature of existence absolute, of knowledge absolute, and of bliss absolute. Okay? So you say, I don't feel it, but you have to at least, do self-inquiry, and slowly, if you contemplate on the self all the time without being distracted by everything else, if you keep your mind very, very quiet and very, very calm and sharp, your intellect sharp, to know the false and the true, and you keep yourself meditating or contemplating on that self, okay, on that Satchidananda Atman. You have to keep doing it. It's not something that will happen right away, but it's called the practice of self-inquiry, the practice of contemplation, the practice of meditation, that you are fixing your mind on the self, and everything else, you detach. Everything else is not important. Your memory is not important. Yeah, your mind is not important. Yeah, you keep fixing your mind, on the self. So that is your method of remembering the self all the time. So you keep remembering the self, and then your mind will go again, action, and then you forget yourself again, and then you come back to the self again. Yeah, and then your mind will forget, will get involved in this, will get upset because of that, but then you need to bring it back and take a deep breath. Calm down. I am the self. I'm so happy. Satchidananda, absolute. I am the self, in silence. So every day you need to have time for yourself. You need to have time for silence. You need to have time for self-inquiry. And the more that you do that, the more that you do this, the more that you do this, the more it becomes real for you. It becomes real. You really feel yourself more and more and more and more. Okay, so it's not happening overnight. Okay, so I'm going to give you a summary, at least in theory, of what is the Atman. Who am I? Okay, the self, the Atman, is pure consciousness, is the witness. It's all the time there. So therefore, it's a witness of all things. It's not acting. It doesn't need to do anything. It's all the time there. It gives light and beauty to the universe that you see, because it's the core of the basis of the ego, the basis of your mind. Okay, so it's I don't really have time to explain all these words, but just for you to have an idea. Okay, so the Atman is deathless, is eternal, is unbroken awareness. You try to keep your awareness, like I said, your remembrance of yourself. And then you forget. You need to bring it back. You need to remember again. And then you forget. You bring it back again and again, until less forgetfulness, more remembrance. At that time, become unbroken awareness. That means all the time you are happy, because all the time you are the self. The mind is acting, but the self is not acting. So the self, yourself, is beyond action. Yeah, the self is aware of the mind and the ego. Okay, the self is aware of the mind and the ego. The self is unchanging. The mind, ego changing, but the self is unchanging. The self is light, the nature of light. So when you see light, you remember the self. The self is the nature of light, instead of darkness. The self, where is the self sitting? The self is sitting in the pure heart. That's why you try to have a pure feeling. Then the self is there. The self is sitting in your pure heart, not in the heart that is wanting something, that is attached to something, that is selfish. But the pure heart. The self is sitting right there. So you need to remember your pure heart. Then you find the self right there. The self is not limited. So if you feel yourself small, then you are making a mistake. That's not yourself. Okay? If you feel yourself bigger than somebody, you make a mistake. Okay? The self is unbounded, means unlimited. If you feel that there is a limit to time, yeah, age, time, past, present, future, you're not in the self. And the self is unlimited. Yeah, there's no time that can limit the self. Okay? The self is transcending time and transcending space. Okay? The self is the source of prana itself. You are not the prana. The self is not the prana, but is the source of all prana. The self is stainless. It has no impurity. Yeah. The self is, you cannot tell. You cannot describe the self. Because the self cannot be described in words. Yeah? The self is beyond words. It cannot be measured. Okay? The self cannot be cut in pieces. You cannot say one self is in America, one self is in Vietnam. There is only the mind that is in America or the mind that is in Vietnam. Yeah, but the self is beyond all space. Yeah, so you need to remember that self so you don't feel split. Okay, the self is doesn't need anybody to exist. It's self-existent. The self is the knower. It knows everything. Okay, so that's more or less the idea of yourself. And then you need to meditate. You need to think like this. You need to think, I am Satchidananda. I am. You need to make sentences of what I say. And then you feel it. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am the witness. I am the silent witness. Okay, so you can close your eyes and say, I say a few things, and then you can remember yourself. You can close your eyes and think and feel, I am. I am the silent witness of this world, good or bad. I am that core consciousness that is always alive and knowing within, that cannot be burned, that cannot be cut, that cannot be smaller or bigger. I'm relaxing. I remove all anxieties about what I do, about I'm good or bad, about my life. Yeah, I feel that I am not inside, not outside. I am going beyond this idea of this body and of this mind, of this separation between you and me, okay? Of the separation between inside and outside. I am at peace with myself and with all, because we are one. I realize that this body and mind is changing. Therefore, I am detached. I don't get attached to the body and mind. I meditate on the Atman that is unchanging, stable, that is real, that is beyond this separation. Everyone seems to be frozen. Okay. I am not alone. I am one with all. I am undefined, but I am happy in the here and the now. I am silent and content. I am silent and content. I am knowledge absolute. I am not attached to a name and a form. I cannot be analyzed. I cannot be divided. I enjoy myself. I enjoy myself. That is the witness. I am enjoying myself. That is the knower. I'm enjoying myself in all situations. I am unbroken awareness. I'm not this limited intelligence. I am knowledge itself. I am the source of all life. Therefore, I am the source of healing. I am the source of healing. I am the source of self-healing. I am meditating deeply. I am letting go deeply. I am one without a second in the oneness that heals all ills, all hurts, all trauma. I am one. I am the source of healing. I am meditating on that oneness, that love, beyond me and you. We are one. I heal and I forgive beyond all the blames and the regrets. I am the source of all creativity. I am the source of all situations, the source of all solutions of all situations. The answer lies within me. There is no answer outside besides myself. There is no answer outside myself. I am love absolute. I am infinite joy and bliss. I remember my own true self. I love my own true self. I enjoy my own true self. I am love. I am loved. I am complete. I am beyond all desires, beyond illusion of separation, beyond all yearning, all anxieties, all expectations. I am totally fulfilled here and now. I enjoy the light, the love, and the beauty of myself, of others, and of this universe. Hare Om Tat Sat. People are not moving. Om